I'm back again. Sorry for the delay. Had a little check-in at the end of the show that I forgot about. So wanted to get you updated here online as well to make sure that you're ready for this additional snow. So again, not 10 inches of snow. We're talking upwards of 1 to 3, maybe some isolated fours. Uh, for what will be afternoon activity that really starts to pick up. So I do want to dive into that. Let's just take a quick little look around. I've got the computer next to me if you're wondering where I'm looking. But some of the heaviest snow at this very moment, so again, nearly 10 o'clock, and we've got some of the heavier snow over Glenwood and Connorsville coming down for us in Clifton and in Liberty. So if you're driving, visibility could be reduced, and you could start to see some slick spots pop up if roads are not treated. Same story for us in Monroe, down towards Blanchester, in Hillsborough. Pretty light around the 275 loop for the most part, maybe a little bit there towards Mount Repose and Miami Grove. But overall, it is lighter into northern Kentucky as well. So let me show you Futurecast. And I did want to tell you that I've been watching this pretty close, seeing if this line is going to play out on where some of the heaviest is going to set up this afternoon. So we also have a chance, because our temperatures are sitting near the freezing mark, of seeing a little bit of a wintry mix. And if that happens, we could see some freezing rain in our southernmost location. So very important to be on the lookout for that. Now, obviously with black ice, you can't really see it, but you can take a look at your car. See if anything is, when you're looking out the back deck, if you're seeing any icing, that will help to tell you what you could be dealing with on the roads. This should be very minimal, but my southernmost locations, you do have a chance for that today, and that is the worst. I'd rather get snow everywhere, but there is a small chance for that. And also, because we're at the freezing mark today, I'm putting us at 33 for a high. Our snow is going to be very different than the last event. So the last event, very dry, crystally snow because it was so cold. This is going to be better for snowballs and better for playing outside. When my kids were trying to play outside and it's 12 degrees, I'm like, no, you get about 5 minutes. With this feeling in the 30s, that's kind of a heat wave for us in comparison to what we've been. So that'll feel nice if the kids do want to go outside and play and they have the day off, or if you want to go outside and just have some fun in the snow for a second and then get hot chocolate when you come back inside. Sounds like a good day to me. I think I'm going to take a nap. But we've got snow chances continuing for us here this morning. Now into the afternoon, I want you to watch as we transition over to that dark purple. So you're going to see this stretching from, say, Ripley, Dearborn. I think we're going to get clipped in the city, Boone, Kenton, Campbell, Claremont, Brown, and Adams County. Some heavier snow is going to set up there. And that line is where we think some of the higher totals could be. That's where you're pushing that 3-4 inch mark. Then this starts to lighten and shift to the south pretty fast. I'm expecting a lot of this to be done by 7 o'clock, though we have our advisory until 10. And so we could still have a little bit of additional light snow, but I think most of us will continue to dry out. And then we're left cold again. Teens, as you're waking up, dealing with likely some slick spots, and then highs only expected to be in the 20s tomorrow. So another good, let's say 10-degree drop off. But here's some of the estimates. I've adjusted this just barely from what Chief Meteorologist John Gum did yesterday. So I'm just extending that 2 to 3 over into Ripley and Dearborn, a little bit of Ohio and Switzerland County and Indiana, including still for the city at about that 2 to 3 mark, and then maybe a little bit more east at the 2 to 4, but I could see anyone in that blue line pushing upwards of 3 to 4 if you get under that heavier band that is looking to set up this afternoon. And I think timing, it will start at around 3, but should be done fast. So that's why the numbers are expected to be so low. We have another small chance for some winter weather on Friday, maybe some early snow on Friday, a little bit of rain potential because we're warmer, but that should be morning only. And 37 sounds pretty good considering we should be at 41 this time of the year. And then this weekend, another chance on Sunday, but both of those next two events are minimal. Today is the accumulating snow. The other two are very light right now, looking at even smaller numbers. And next week, we are potentially going to see some 50s. Could be a true heat wave for us in comparison to the teens and the 20s that we had. So this is an active forecast in a sense, but nothing like what we went through, 2 weekends ago. So, or shall I say a weekend ago. It wasn't this past weekend, but the one before that. How to properly say that, I'm not for sure. But snow for today, continuing in and out with some moderate activity, briefly heavy for some, kind of the central portion of our tri-state. And then it starts clearing out in the evening hours. Slick spots could still be possible into tomorrow on roads that weren't treated, but otherwise should be pretty good. Expecting our main roads to be just fine because this clears out fast enough by the time everybody gets back to school and back to work for tomorrow. Hopefully back to school and back to work with minimal issues because it is light. But anything when your roads are this cold can cause issues. So let me check in really quick, see if I have any questions that I can answer. I forgot to bring my phone over, so I'm looking at the computer. Sorry I had to go live twice. Gary's like in the 50s. Amen. And Anthony likes turtles. I like turtles too, Anthony. All right. Everybody have a good Tuesday, and I'll see you dark and early starting at 4:25 on Local 12 if you want to join me tomorrow morning. And thankfully, no additional weather to try and go live about, hopefully for a while.